Hello again to another one of my adventure game reviews. I know these don't exactly rake in the views, but I enjoy this genre quite a bit, and it's honestly just nice to play and review something less intense or active sometimes, especially when I'm busy with a whole bunch of other stuff going on in my life at the same time. Unlike the last game, however, we're taking a rather comedic turn in the genre, to a seemingly popular little niche of a franchise that I've seen around before but never actually got around to playing. So here's my chance to see what it's all about. Time for more detective work, but this time with a spooky twist. This is the Darkside Detective. Darkside Detective is, of course, a pixel game, as most of these adventure games are. After all, most of the effort tends to be put into writing and puzzle design, and this game is no different. The town of Twin Lakes is designed to be the most stereotypical middle-of-nowhere American town filled with spooky occurrences you can think of. I mean, really, it's called Twin Lakes. What did you expect? Shops selling illegal occult books, portals to the titular Darkside opening up in the subway, that kind of thing. But everything has that comedic twist on it, with characters and objects looking normal on the surface before then presenting something ironic or nonsensical about themselves when you interact with them. It's the lighthearted, goofy, spooky type of comedy. And nothing's taken that seriously, and you're clearly not meant to take it seriously either. And the story is pretty much in that exact same vein. It puts on the veneer of looking scary to then present you with something comedic. Unlike most adventure games of its ilk, Darkside Detective is pretty much a purely episodic collection of smaller misadventures. There's no real overarching plot or anything like that, which even Sam & Max had. No, here you play as Detective Francis McQueen, and his partner, Officer Dooley, is there sometimes. McQueen is part of the severely underfunded and unrecognized Darkside division in the Twin Lakes Police Department because, apparently, these supernatural occurrences are common enough that they need specialized detectives on payroll to handle it. Despite this, however, barely anyone even believes McQueen does half of the stuff he reports, with most people around him seemingly oblivious to just how dangerous and horrifying most of these cases realistically are. And that's where most of the comedy comes from. As you play through a collection of individual cases, you'll be reading joke after joke after joke, mostly regarding a flip on a supernatural cliché, or something about how mundane the whole situation seems despite the fact that there are potentially world-ending threats that are going down. It's nothing that quite made me bust a gut laughing or anything, but it does its job well if you're looking for a funny little detective romp. It's very lighthearted, very enjoyable, most people will get some sort of kick out of it. The exception I'd give to this is some of the gameplay. Okay, look, the gameplay is fine and all. It's pretty standard for an adventure game, and the cases are linear enough that you don't usually end up stuck unless it's a pixel hunt. But when the game advances beyond the basic formula, it gets more annoying than it does interesting. Case in point. Yeah, puzzles like this usually occur near the end of a case, and I don't know, they just take the wind out of my sails most of the time, you know? Specifically this one, though. This is absolutely the worst offender. This is cancer. I spent way too long trying to figure out this stupid slide puzzle, and I just really needed to get that out of my system here right now. This puzzle is awful. I don't like it. I hate it. Please stop. Beyond that, though, there's really not much to talk about in terms of gameplay, because that's basically all of it. You collect items in the environment, you put those items together, you use the items on other things and people in the environment, just like every other point-and-click adventure game ever. There's really nothing beyond that. It's all about the comedic interactions that you do between the items and the people in the environment. So no real advanced gameplay here. And that's pretty much my thoughts on Darkside Detective as a whole. It's a neat little paranormal buddy cop comedy game that doesn't linger on anything for too long, but it also doesn't leave much of an impact on me aside from that evil slide puzzle. Still, the game's managed to garner a sizable enough fanbase to get an overwhelmingly positive score on Steam, so maybe this game's just made for you and not quite for me. It's decently cheap, but personally I'd still wait for a sale. Either way, it's still a fun little comedic trip. This has been TheRatMan, and I will see you all later.